Alrighty, let's talk about the median. Now we're going to be looking at calculating the median both from raw data and from frequency tables. We'll start with raw data. So the median is the middle number. And since it's a number in the middle, it means that we're going to find it basically in the middle. So let's call this thing n, which is the total frequency. It's going to come up a bunch. We could also think of it as the number of numbers. So in the first case, n would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'd have 8 numbers in the first one. So n would equal 8. Whereas in the second one, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So n would equal 7. So it's the number of numbers. Except number of numbers gets a little bit confusing. So I'm going to try to stick with things like total frequency. So, to find the middle number, there's a couple ways we can do it, but my favorite method is the n plus 1 over 2. So, n plus 1 over 2 position. It is not just that you take n and you divide it, add 1 and divide it by 2, it's that we're finding the position of it. So let me show you what that looks like. So, n plus 1 over 2 position. So, n equals 8. Now, the first thing is that if I would like to find their position, I first need to write them in smallest to largest. So, let's order this data set. So, 16, 17, 20, 23, 28, 41, 42, 46. And just double check there's still 8 numbers. Well, the rule says that the number will live in the n plus 1 over 2 position. So let's work out what n plus 1 over 2 is. So n is 8, so it's 8 plus 1 over 2. And in this case, it's 9 over 2, which is 4.5. So it's in the 4.5th position, which, if you have a look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half, 5, 6, 7, 8, that's right in the middle. And in fact, it's right in the middle between two numbers, 23 and 28. So what's the number halfway between 23 and 28? Well, let's work it out. Well, the median is going to be 23 plus 28 divided by 2. It's just the mini average of the two. Which is 25.5. So the median for the first data set would be 25.5. But it's slightly different when we look at an odd case. So let's look at B, where we've got an odd number of numbers, only 7. Let's put them in order first. 8, 2 9s, 12, 13, 15, 16. Alright, well, it's going to live in the n plus 1 over 2th position, which is going to be 7 plus 1 over 2, which is 8 over 2, which is 4. So it's going to be in the 4th position. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And so in this case, our median isn't in between, it's actually just 12. And so we can just write median equals 12. And we're done. So this works as a quite nice way of just working out our median, but it gets a little bit trickier when we're dealing with ranges. So let's have a look at some different data. Alrighty, so we've got this frequency data, and we want to do the exact same thing. So how are we going to work out what the median is? Well, again, the median lives in the n plus 1 over 2th position. So let's work out what n plus 1 over 2 is. Well, what's n? Well, let's work it out. So we've got 7 plus 11, that's 18. 18 plus 15 is going to be 33. 33 plus 3 is 36, and 36 plus 1 is 37. So n in this case, the total is 37. And what I've written here is what we'd call the cumulative frequency. It's a useful number to work out often when doing this sort of thing. Now, you could have just added up all the numbers directly, but you'll see why it might be a little bit easier after that. Alrighty, so the total is 37, so we're going to get 37 n equals 37. So 37 plus 1 over 2 equals 38 over 2, which equals 19th position. So now we have to ask ourselves, which is in the 19th position? Well, the first 7 are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. The next 11 are in this spot. So the 19th spot is going to be here. Now, we can actually use the cumulative frequency to work that out instead. What this says is that the first 18 numbers are zeros and ones. This number says that the first 33 numbers are 2 or smaller. This one says the first 36 numbers are 3 and smaller, and this one says that that there are 37 numbers that are 4 and smaller. So since we're looking for the 19th position, well, 19 is bigger than 7, it is bigger than 18, but it is smaller than 33, which means that my median has to be in here somewhere. So in this particular case, we could say that since the median will be equal to 2, because the 19th number will be a 2. And we can imagine we can write them out. 7 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros. And then 11 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then 15 twos. 1, 2, 3, 4, ... That's our actual raw data, if I listed it all out. And what's in the 19th spot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, hence 18. So what's going to be the 19th number? It's going to be a 2. Now, you could write out this data set because it is discrete. However, in continuous data, you're not going to be able to write it out if they're in data ranges. So the only way to do it is to work out that cumulative frequency and use the n plus 1 over 2th rule. Alrighty, so I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.